She was only 17, but one night her body began to rise from the bed. Doctors couldn't explain it. Her mother couldn't stop it. And when the voices came, everyone knew something evil had taken over.
17-year-old Emily Carter had always been a quiet girl. She loved drawing in her notebooks, listening to music, and spending time with her mother. But one autumn evening, her mother, Karen, noticed something was wrong. Emily was unusually pale, her eyes dull, and she refused to eat. At first, Karen thought it was due to stress from school, but then strange things started happening at night. Karen heard heavy footsteps in Emily's room, but she swore her daughter wasn't moving. The family cat hissed every time she approached the door. One night, Karen was awakened by a blood-curdling sound, the scraping of furniture upstairs. She ran to Emily's room, threw open the door, and saw something that stopped her heart. Emily was floating above her bed. Her body was unnaturally arched, her hair hanging down as if gravity had abandoned her. Her eyes went black, and a low growl rose from her throat. The crucifix on the wall trembled, then fell to the floor, shattering into pieces. Frightened, Karen took her daughter to the doctors. They ran every imaginable test: brain scans, blood tests, psychiatric evaluations. But Emily's strength was inhuman. She once ripped the metal railing off her hospital bed with a single hand. The doctors had no explanation. There's nothing physically wrong with her, they told Karen. But something's wrong. Things escalated rapidly at home. At night, Karen heard Emily speaking in languages she didn't recognize, deep, guttural voices that weren't her own. The house filled with the smell of decay. The lights flickered, shadows seemed to move, even when no one was there. One evening, as Karen was preparing dinner, she heard a piercing scream that shook the windows. She ran upstairs. Emily was in the corner of her room, her body bent double, her hands bleeding from clawing the walls. Her voice wasn't her own. It was a chorus of laughter and mockery. Karen sank to her knees, trembling. Please, God, help my daughter. That night, Emily's condition worsened. Her body spasmed violently, her bones cracking, as if they were breaking and healing simultaneously. The bed rose and slammed against the wall. Objects were thrown across the room. A desperate Karen called a local priest. Father Matthews arrived the next morning. The moment she stepped inside, the temperature plummeted. Her breath vaporized in the air. She placed her hand on the Bible and muttered a prayer. Emily, chained to her bed for safety, slowly lifted her head. His lips curled, and he grinned. "He can't help you," he hissed hoarsely. The priest sprinkled holy water, and Emily screamed, her skin blistering, as if burned. Her chains rattled violently as she struggled. Her voice became inhuman, her cries shaking the walls. The exorcism began. Hours passed. Prayers clashed with sinister laughter. Emily rose again, her back arched, her eyes rolling into white voids. The smell of sulfur filled the room. The lights exploded, plunging the house into darkness. Abruptly, Emily fell silent. She collapsed onto the bed, gasping for air. Father Matthews continued his prayer, sweat streaming down his face. Then Emily's head turned with unearthly slowness, and her eyes locked on him, black as night. "You're too late," the voice growled. "She belongs to us now." The walls cracked, the pictures fell, and the house shook as if the earth was splitting. Karen screamed, her hands clasped to her ears. Then, with a final, inhuman scream, Emily's body went rigid. Her eyes rolled back, and silence fell. As the priest approached, Emily lay still. Her chest heaved softly as if she was simply asleep. Karen rushed to him, sobbing with relief. But as the priest closed his Bible, she noticed something that chilled her to the bone. Emily's lips were moving slightly. She leaned closer to hear. And Emily said, in a whisper different from her own, "I'll be back."